Привет из Дубая! С вами передача «Голубь мира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about effective student and let's start with the definition.
A student is effective when he gets or she gets just good marks. And the reason is very simple. When you are studying, you could spend your time for learning or for something else. But anyway, you will get your diploma after 5 or 6 years. And just from your efforts is depending how you make it right or not. In Russian language, there is a saying, who had a good marks usually get a red diploma, but has a blue face, and who has a red face has a blue diploma. In Russian or in Ukraine, red diploma is mean diploma with excellence, just 5 marks. But also, I'm always saying that if you are able to sell your knowledge for good marks, you are a good salesperson. All your life, you will be forced to sell your family, to sell to your boss, to sell to your customer. And if you are trying to improve your skills in getting good marks, you're also improving your skills in getting good deals.
And maybe to expand the definition slightly a bit more, there is also skilled effective pupil. So what might be the fundamental difference between two of this?
You will be laughing, but a pupil in our school of troubleshooting, we mean this person who are not graduating from high school, but student who is going to university or to institute. So the difference is just between in age.
And when it comes to effective student, obviously, like there might be a different levels or like the scales of the efficiency. Can we actually look into the both different levels and the possibly different scale?
When we're talking about scale, you could learn just your specialty. For example, you are going to be a doctor, or you are going to be an engineer, or you may be going to be a designer, and you just looking in your books and you write just lectures from your professors. And in many universities and institutes, you are allowed to visit another lectures. For example, when I was studying in Kyiv Polytechnical Institute, I was also visiting some another lectures which was done by foreign professors and so on. So I was trying to learn not one specialty, but 3. So scale is depending how deep and how wide you're going to learn all the knowledge. About levels. On first level, you are just going to pass exams. You got just 3 marks and you are happy with this. You have no depths and you are not going to the army, for example. Second level, when you sometimes get 5, sometimes 4, but you are not worried about it, you are not going to have diploma with excellence. And for sure, third level is when you have zero tolerance for marks, any marks, but 5, and you are going to have all like, I don't know, like a sky with the stars with 5 marks.
And obviously, when we're talking about students, we may mean that like they might not be single in their course or whatever. So how should be the dynamics within the group? Whether because sometimes, especially maybe like when we're young, we actually tend to blend with the crowd and maybe try to be not so outstanding or trying not to be like a bright or maybe like trying not to be dull, basically trying to play it safe. So what should be the approach when it comes to interacting with other students? And maybe on contrary, there is also might be a very productive and constructive dynamics with the people, so that when when group interacts, they actually can achieve more.
Maxim, you're asking a very good question. When you are going to be outstanding on each lecture, on each course, you will be hated or hated by all other students in your group. So never allow to make this kind of behavior. Better to be on the same level as others, and just in case if no one else in the room do not know answer, in this case you can in a shy mode ask if it is possible to give an answer. So everyone should know that you are not just clever, but also wise. Because if you will like a rooster on the first age, on the age of the fence, everyone wants to shoot you by stone or by bullet.
And when it comes to different parts of the student's life, so obviously it might be like a lectures or like a different laboratory works, but there's also might be life outside of your university or the institute. So how effective students should approach to both parts of it, how they should structure their life in the way so that they keep consuming or like at least thinking about the knowledge that they're getting, so that they come prepared or at least can do better than the average.
To be better than average is just only one way to be experienced. And to get this experience, you should work from second or third course, and not too many people like it. For example, if we are talking about girls, they are going to have some, I don't know, haircuts and nail making, so they spend too many time for the beauty. If we are talking about boys, they also want to play some games like hockey or football or volleyball or basketball. So no one thinking to be experienced. You know, this is very funny, but when someone comes to the job, they very show themselves that they are brilliant. But if you will see, for example, two person, one in a nice suit or nice dress and just empty eyes, I want to be part of your team. I will work. I have got good skills. And from another side, you will see a bit tired person, the same age, with average suit or average dress, but for example, with 3 or 4 years experience. When I was a student, I started to work on the second course. So when I was finishing my education, I already had 5 years experience in different companies. I was working for Intel, I was working for AT, this is a producer of video cards, and some Motorola, this is very huge companies. And if I am not mistaken, Intel at this time was the biggest B2B brand in the world. So I was no doubt taken in any company which I was applied.
Well, and obviously, in order to build this up, you need to be some sort of like the active player in the game of getting the knowledge. So, how should the effective student build their relationship with the teacher? Like how they should consume the knowledge, how they actually find a way to understand something, or maybe like ask questions, even sometimes if sometimes they might be quite inconvenient.
I will tell you my way. Maybe this is not the best example, but it was like this. There were some subjects which I want to attend very attentively, and I was thinking on the first desk to listen, to look into the eyes, and to hand up each time when I know the answer. Second, this were like for me secondary courses, and I was asking teachers sometimes not to come, and I was promising them I want to rewrite conspect from my colleagues, and I will know everything on exam. Do not worry, I will anyway. I will get good marks. And there were also some part of third level for me subjects. I was coming to teachers and I was saying, you know, I'm very grateful that you are our teacher. I'm very grateful that you work with our team, but I have to work. I have to provide to my family, to my mother, to my father, to my sister. So I'm forced to work. But anyway, I'm working in the same field as you. And I am promising that I will also get all exams. But please do not ask me to come, because some teachers, they were given good marks, not for knowledge, but for the presence.
And actually touched on quite interesting topic, which is the practicality, because I do believe there might be at certain age, people might be feeling that some of the subjects, they might be like quite boring or really like obsolete or unnecessary. So what should be the mindset of the efficient student when it comes to consuming knowledge? Should be they like be like a all eating, try to consume as much as possible, or as a like a human, as the person who like a very like a foodie, they should be very picky about like what exactly they will choose.
Maxim, you just hit me in Achilles heel. Is it correct? Phrase Achilles heel.
Achilles.
Achilles
That's
heels.
correct.
I was foodie. I was Kurman. I was trying to learn like just 12 subjects, which was necessary for my future career. But you know, all my lives show me that I was wrong. And I'm now consuming a lot of books, and I'm attending some webinars in online mode because I have lack of the knowledge. So there is no chance to be foodie if you are going to be a troubleshooter, because sometimes you should know about fishes, sometimes you should know about crabs or oil pumping, or for example diamonds cutting.
And when it comes to actually the part where student will stop become efficient, what might be the mistakes they might be making? For example, there is a proverb saying that at the beginning of your study, you actually work on your, let's say, the document that shows your marks, but after that, it works on you. So whether it's like a right behavior or not, because at certain point of time, each student might be hitting their level of like arrogancy or laziness. So the study will stop, and maybe some sort of like a line of the decay will start.
Nice topic. I was quite lucky enough to be part of the Kyiv Polytechnical Institute, and you know what the I don't know how to say особенность, feature
Speciality, feature,
of my alma mater. A lot of people were fired on the second course, but much more on the fifth course. So I have no chance to use my this book with marks working for me, because when we started, we were like, I don't know exactly, but maybe 125 or 28%, but just 16 of them are finished education. All other were fired. So I don't know how it works. But for me, it doesn't matter. Sometimes in school of troubleshooters, someone who usually doesn't allow to give an opinion, sometimes gives a brilliant speech. And sometimes person who usually gives very nice answers are tied or maybe some other mental disabilities. And even we have a special stop word. It is like pass. I am passing.
Well, that's quite nice. And you also mentioned that there is like another mode of consuming the knowledge, which could be online, or maybe like in the nearest future, it will be a different ways to learn. So how the efficient students should approach to this process of education when probably they don't need to see their mentors or like a teachers or even the co-students face to face. So what should be, I would say, like their mindset, and how they should look into different tools in order to acquire additional knowledge?
Let's divide this question for the two. For example, if you are learning in group of 5 to 10 people, and if you are learning in a much more crowded group. If you work in 5 to 10 people, better to use Zoom and to show your face. For example, I like your mode when you are always in the screen and I could read your eyes. I am looking for eyes, but just 2 or 3 person showing their faces in webcams. All other are trying to be switched off. And for teacher, it is very hard to understand. It is enough for explanation or not. But and it is also worse to go in online mode. But if there are like 20 to 25 or more people, maybe better to get this lecture recorded, because you have no chance to ask questions. And usually when you are sitting on the lectures, you are used to slow mode of speaking of a speaker. But if you are for example listen this lecture at night, you will force maybe to twice the speed of video player.
And my last question will be how knowing about efficient student could help to make this world a better place.
Let's be back to your previous question. What is the difference between pupil and student? For me, pupil, this is a person when he or she goes to the school. But student could be for second time or for third time. For example, right now, 2 of our students of School of Troubleshooters, they're getting for law education. And they already grown persons, but anyway, they are trying to be back at the same situation when they start to learn from the scratch, because they know technicians, they know economics and some other stuff, but not about law. The same in School of Troubleshooters. Maybe you will also say me that maybe I'm wrong or maybe I'm correct. Sometimes you will get a small portion of the knowledge which will cross out your previous knowledge, because your maybe teacher or maybe your school book was not so comprehensive.
Учиться никогда не сложно. Потребляйте знания и будьте вечным студентом. А мы рассмотрели навык «Эффективный студент» и чем он полезен именно вам, всем мира.